The apostles of Jesus, chosen witnesses of his teachings and resurrection, faced diverse and often tragic fates in spreading the Christian message. Historical and traditional accounts suggest that they met their ends through various means, including martyrdom, imprisonment, and persecution, illustrating the challenges and sacrifices they endured in their commitment to the early Christian faith. The deaths of the apostles of Jesus, as chronicled in historical and traditional accounts, reflect the challenges and sacrifices they faced in spreading the Christian message. Traditionally, Peter was crucified upside down in Rome, while his brother Andrew was crucified on an X-shaped cross. James, the brother of John, was executed by Herod Agrippa I, and Thomas, according to tradition, was stabbed with a spear in India. Paul, after extensive missionary work, is believed to have been beheaded during the persecution under Emperor Nero in Rome. The diverse and often tragic fates of the apostles underscore their unwavering commitment to their faith and the significant role they played in the early Christian movement. The tradition of Matthew's suffering and martyrdom in Ethiopia is a Christian belief that traces back to ancient accounts. According to tradition, after the resurrection of Jesus and the initial spread of Christianity, Matthew, one of the 12 apostles, is said to have traveled to Ethiopia to preach the gospel. There, he is believed to have met his martyrdom, facing hostility for his Christian teachings. The specific details of his death in Ethiopia often include the account that he was killed by a sword wound. This tradition is not explicitly detailed in the canonical Gospels, but has been perpetuated through early Christian traditions and writings. The martyrdom of Matthew is remembered in Christian hagiography and contributes to the rich tapestry of Christian narratives surrounding the lives of the apostles. The traditional account of the Apostle Matthew's suffering, martyrdom in Ethiopia, and death by a sword wound is primarily based on apocryphal and legendary sources rather than the canonical Gospels. It's important to note that these traditions are not universally accepted by all Christian denominations, and historical evidence is limited. Here's an overview of the tradition. Ethiopian tradition. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church has a long-standing tradition that links the Apostle Matthew to Ethiopia. According to Ethiopian hagiography, Matthew is believed to have traveled to Ethiopia to spread Christianity. The Book of the Ethiopian Martyrs, one of the main sources for the tradition of Matthew's martyrdom in Ethiopia, is the Book of the Ethiopian Martyrs, a work that dates back to the Ethiopian Christian tradition. This book provides accounts of the apostles, including Matthew, preaching in Ethiopia and facing martyrdom. Sword wound. The specific detail of Matthew's death by a sword wound is mentioned in some early Christian writings and traditions. However, the details can vary, and different sources provide different narratives of the events leading to his martyrdom. Apocryphal Gospel of Matthew. There exists an apocryphal text known as the Gospel of Matthew, but it is not part of the canonical New Testament. This Gospel, also called the Gospel of the Nazarenes, is considered non-canonical and is not widely accepted by mainstream Christianity. It contains accounts and teachings attributed to Matthew, but its historical reliability is questioned. Early Christian writings. Early Christian writers, such as Eusebius of Caesarea and St. Jerome, make reference to Matthew's missionary work and death, but do not provide detailed accounts. Instead, they mention that he preached in various regions, including Ethiopia, and faced martyrdom. Historical caution. It's important to approach these traditions with historical caution, as legendary elements often become intertwined with historical accounts over time. The lack of contemporary historical records makes it challenging to verify the specifics of Matthew's travels and martyrdom. In summary, the tradition of Matthew's suffering, martyrdom in Ethiopia, and death by a sword wound is rooted in early Christian traditions and writings. While these accounts are revered in certain Christian traditions, they are not universally accepted, and historical verification is challenging due to the lack of contemporary evidence. The story contributes to the rich tapestry of Christian hagiography and tradition.